I created this video because I wanted to install this LED light bar on my 2005 Dodge Ram 2500 so that it would function in conjunction with the high beams, so it could turn on when they were on and turn off when they were off. I also wanted to be able to have it disabled completely so that it would not turn on in case I happen to be traveling in areas where the light bar might be frowned upon by the local legal establishment. I happen to live in a rural area of Texas where it might not technically be legal to use this light bar on a public road, but as long as you're not frying someone's retinas with it, no one is going to care. The light bar I purchased was this inexpensive model sold on Amazon by a company called Nilight, though I'm sure this installation will work with any similar product. I also purchased a wiring harness that included a fuse and a solid-state relay to run the bar. The wiring harness kit came with a lighted single-pole, single-throw switch, but I decided I wanted some more flexibility in wiring it, so I picked up a bag of single-pole double-throw switches. I only have one pole wired at the moment, but I'll come back to this a little later. Now, the relay from the wiring harness is attached to the firewall near the battery using a self-tapping screw. The ground from the relay is bonded to the screw that mounts to the relay, and the main power source for the relay is attached to this 10mm nut on the positive terminal of the battery, which is under the red plastic cover. The other end of the wiring harness is attached to the pigtail of the light bar and is snaked along the fender wall behind several parts that are bolted to it, along the radiator, up and behind the fuse box, and then behind the battery. And then here we are back at the relay on the firewall. Now, the way I have the switch wired, with the switch in the middle or off position, the headlights work like stock. When it's in the up position, the light bar turns on when I switch the high beams on and off when the high beams are switched off. This is done by tapping into the power that goes to the left front high beam and using that power to drive the relay. The left front high beam power is accessible from the C7 connector coming off at the bottom of the integrated power module, also known as the underhood fuse box. The C7 connector is the one at the bottom of this photo, and it's the one that's closest to the front of the truck when you're looking at the fuse box from underneath, which is where you're going to need to go to access that wire and tap into it. According to the wiring diagram that I have, it was an 18 gauge wire that's white with a green stripe. I found that wire and that looked like it met those conditions, and I tapped it with this red Scotchlok connector. Then fed that wire from the Scotchlok connector back through the grommet on the firewall, along with the white wire from the relay, which is the one that actually drives the relay. The white wire is attached to the center terminal on the switch, and the red one is attached to the bottom terminal. This completed the main function that I wanted to accomplish so that the light bar would work along with the high beams and for me to be able to turn it off completely. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing is providing switched 12-volt power to the upper terminal of the single-pole double-throw switch. Then, with the switch in the down position, the light bar can be turned on independently. I don't know that I have a real reason for that, but you never know. That's it. Well, I'm really happy with the performance of the light bar. It really makes a big difference in lighting up not only down the road a lot farther than the stock high beams can, but illuminates both sides of the road all the way out past the fence lines to give me a better chance to avoid striking a deer. So I hope this video has been helpful. Here's a typical county road with low beams. Here we are with high beams. And then here we are with our high beams and the LED bar.